What's up, everybody, and welcome to the NFL Round 1 Draft Recap edition of the Swolecast here on rotogrinders.com. I'm David Kitchen, joined by Davis Mattek, joined by Peter Overzet, and joined by a special guest. The special guest is TJ Hernandez. TJ, who used to be of Fantasy Insiders fame, now of 4for4.com fame. He has blazed his own trail, and we are so excited to have him on here, partly because he complained to me about not being on the show during the 2019 season. So, TJ, welcome to the show.
It wasn't a complaint. It was just there was a stretch of TJ shade being thrown around the Swolecast. I never got to redeem myself. I missed you guys.
Is it shade to just say what's true, which is that you're a gigantic pothead?
Also, we also have to say, I mean, I don't feel that special. I mean, TJ's been doing a lot of media hits lately. I feel like we're just another notch on his bedpost right now.
He's going the silver route.
No comment, TJ?
I mean, I don't know if it's the silver route. I'm picking and choosing a little bit. And I made an exception for you guys. This is the first time I've set an alarm in like 2 months.
There you go.
We were worried about you being pretty hungover for the show at 9 p.m. West Coast.
I was drinking scotch till after midnight.
I saw you on a stream last night, and you had like a little scotch.
Yeah. It was a celebration. It was a big day. So I broke up the good stuff.
I will say this. Last night was awesome. First sporting event we have had since the WNBA draft, and it was great. It was great.
That is the most disingenuous tout in the history of the Swolecast.
Dave, who went first overall in the WNBA draft?
Oh, that's easy. He knows.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He does it.
The female basketball player from Oregon.
Yeah, she's so good. She like
Kobe
legit.
Bryant. Kobe.
Sabrina Ionescu. She is legit awesome to watch. She's so good.
Hey, why are you wearing those gloves, Dave? Is this a prop or?
It's Gettleman.
He's out propping the prop master.
Yeah, is everyone's coming from my prop king title these days.
We'll talk about some of the at-home setups with the Gettleman mask. Man, the cameras caught some candid moments. We had mamas yanking up girlfriends off of like the camera. This was like the girlfriend's time to shine, and we had some situations.
CeeDee Lamb with the phone.
CeeDee Lamb with the phone grab. I gotta say that's something I'll remember. He needs to imitate that as a touchdown celebration. The first time he scores a touchdown as a Cowboy, like Gallup needs to come up and try and take the ball away from him, and then he grabs the ball back from Gallup. Like that would be very good. That'd be some A+ touchdown celebrations.
I would love to see what DMs he was trying to hide from her.
There was Isaiah Wilson. Did y'all see this? Because I didn't see it till this morning. Isaiah Wilson, the offensive tackle from Georgia, was drafted by the Titans. His girlfriend
got pulled off,
and the mom came and picked up the girl and tossed her to the side.
It's not her moment, Dave.
Oh, I agree. Don't be mess with mama's baby out there. So, I mean, she was like right in the camera's face, like Overzet when he does.
He's got a really emphatic point to make.
Yeah. You got to lean in. You get into the mic right there.
I mean, I have to say it was not good TV, but it was like entertaining bad TV. The draft was I think that I think you have to be satisfied with and just being able to pay attention to all of those things, or being able to be tweeting about the same thing as everyone else. That's that just felt nice and warm.
Was I the only one bothered that Goodell had a card for every pick? Like no one was giving him a card. Why was he reading off of a card?
I think he had like a team of people in place. That's my theory that they
Did you watch his home tour before? He showed his setup and who was going to be there in his office with him.
I didn't watch it. Did you watch it?
Yes, I did. It was the saddest MTV Cribs episode I'd ever seen. He goes down like this spiral staircase and he kept calling it his man cave. And there's just a million wires all over the place. He literally trips over one of the wires and the entire operation just shuts down for the night. But he pulled it off. He did. He looked extremely pale to me the whole night. And I say that as someone who's pretty pale myself. But I'm just worried about the vitamins he's getting down there in that dungeon of his.
He kept talking about getting booed and said he was looking forward to more booze tomorrow and bringing back the booze. And I don't think he realized what he was saying because we were just interpreting it as liquor.
Yeah.
What?
That was that was charming how he tried to have some modicum of self-awareness about the booze, but it just did not work the way he tried to do
it. It was awkward. I don't know. Like I've been both he and Wingo. Like I felt for Wingo because I've kind of been there in that situation where you don't really know what's going on, and you're like, okay, we're not going there. Like, and then you got a delay for everybody. It was a mess, but I think they pulled it off. After pick 10 or so, things got really fun. It was like a snooze fest. The first hour and a half, first 2 hours. What was your overall thoughts on the draft, Davis?
I mean, for 31 picks, I was just having a great time, right? My biggest bets. So CJ Henderson to the Jaguars, Jeff Okudah to be exactly the third pick, top 3 picks to go exactly in the right order. All of those bets cashed. My mock was doing really well.
My mock was doing really well.
Just it was a great day. I was having a good time, and I when I wasn't on Sports Grid, I was on a Zoom call with my buddies who are all Chiefs fans, and we get to pick 32, and we're all like, okay, let's all shut down Twitter so we don't get it spoiled. And they do the pick is in, and they do they're Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and everyone's just like, oh, and it's just like we're all like, oh, I guess. They took Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and it was just the worst ending to what was like a really fun night.
So explain to people why you're so devastated by this.
Yeah, I feel like it's like a knock on your brand almost because
it's a horrible knock. It's a horrible knock on my brand. Obviously, Damian Williams, 10 touchdowns in the playoffs the last 2 years, huge part of my brand. Dunking on the losers and the haters, of which there are many, and.
At Clutch Fantasy. Just mention your rivalry with at Clutch Fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, dunking on losers like Jacob Rickroad, big part of my brand.
That's CLUTCHFANTASY on Twitter, one word.
And you want the Chiefs to win again and to keep winning, and it's gonna be tough for them to figure out stuff at cornerback now because I have Bashaud Breeland on. Only under contract for another year. Fuller's gone. So it's just not a super ideal situation for them on defense right now. And now they're paying like Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be like the 9th highest paid running back when he sets foot on the field in 2020.
TJ, what are your thoughts about the Chiefs and Davis wanting to be the next GM?
I mean, I kind of like if you're just going to overwhelm other teams with the strength and just lean into it instead of trying to be good everywhere. I mean, obviously they weren't the best defensive unit in the league, but it's pretty clear that they're just going to try to, if you score 30, they're going to try to score 40. So why not lean into it? I like it's kind of similar to what Dallas did. The chalk was Dallas going defense, and now they have the second best offense in the league.
That was an amazing moment. When CeeDee Lamb went to Dallas, I was just doing fist pumps up in my office. So, we had the highs and we had the lows, and such is life, TJ. Such is life.
All right. So Davis, go ahead and do you want to recant anything now that pick has been made as far as like the Chiefs and you think they're sharp?
You think I'm recanting anything, dude? I'm wearing my Mahomes Super Bowl jersey right now. There's no recanting. I have never recanted and I never will.
Okay, well, what about this? It's a tweet from July 27th, 2018. And you said, Alex Smith had the best PFF QB rating on deep throws of all QBs by 15% over the next closest passer. If someone tells you that Mahomes is a certain upgrade for Hill, Kelsey, Watkins on deep balls, they are lying to you.
Yeah, I quote retweeted myself.
All right, so are you recanting that?
What is the statement there that people think I'm making that was wrong?
Someone in the comments said, "How does Davis dunk on anybody?" I think we just found out he quote retweets his bad takes and dunks on himself.
Are you asking what part of that is wrong?
There was this whole idea in fantasy football 2 years ago.
Just take the L. I'm asking you to take the L on this, Davis. And let's move on.
Would you like me to take the L that Patrick Mahomes is better than Alex Smith? Yeah.
On
sure.
deep and that it's for deep balls.
he's literally the best quarterback any of us will ever see. It'll be 20 years until we see someone who's better.
Davis, so question on Hilaire. If he is Alvin Kamara in this offense, is that pick justified?
No, but it won't matter. Like the thing, so the Chiefs have this built-in margin of error where like they could probably just not even make a first-round pick, but Mahomes is just worth so many wins and points in and of himself that it just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like they could just do what the Seahawks do and just take like the 90th rated guy on everyone's board in the first round every year and they'd still win, which is actually what happens to the Seahawks.
Do you know who Brian Westbrook is?
Yes, I'm aware.
Okay. He was a really good running back in the day.
He was like pick 58 or something though when the Eagles took him.
Andy Reid says that
he's
Clyde
better.
Edwards-Helaire
is better than Brian Westbrook.
I mean,
imagine having
so they drafted a first round punt returner.
Well, here's the thing:
like
if you really want to make the argument that this pick was intelligent from an organizational standpoint, you say Mahomes texted Brett Veach and said, "I want Clyde Edwards-Helaire," and you say all that matters as an organization is keeping Patrick Mahomes happy where he is, which I would buy.
They addressed their position of need, and they're moving on.
It was
Obviously,
not
they
a
weren't in love
position
with
of need.
Damian Williams. Well,
isn't that what Rodgers probably did? He texted Ted Thompson, was like, "Hey, bring in this kid."
Amazing subplot to the draft.
I would like to go on record as saying in my 15 pre-draft best balls, I had 0 Damian Williams shares.
Ooh.
Hey, TJ, fuck you.
You can't say that, man.
Hang on, TJ, but you got to finish this. How many Darwin Thompsons did you have?
0. I only had 2 CEHs to balance it out.
What round were you getting him in pre-draft?
8th, but he'll easily be 3rd, if not 2nd now, I think.
Someone asked,
I think he ends up in the first round.
CEH or Saquon Barkley this year?
Say that again, Dave?
CEH or Saquon this year?
Saquon.
Did somebody actually ask that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm not entertaining.
Down running back in this Kansas City system. All right. Let's move on to hot takes. Speaking of Davis, any hot takes that you have from the draft as far as like where you thought people might line up and like what actually happened?
I actually did think that the Patriots were not going to trade back. I legitimately thought that they saw this quarterback class, and whether it was Jordan Love, whether it was Jalen Hurts, whether it was Fromm or Eason or whatever, I thought that Bill would be like, you know what? I'm not riding into 2020 with Jarrett Stidham and Brian Hoyer. It kind of seems like now what's going to happen though is that they are going to sign Andy Dalton when this is all over with.
Is that a boots on the ground report, or is that just?
That's just sort of like the betting markets have just slowly inched Andy Dalton closer and closer to being the week 1 starting quarterback for the New England Patriots. It's very hard for me to believe Jarrett Stidham is the week 1 starting quarterback.
What about Jameis?
It doesn't seem like a great organizational fit, but who knows?
Cam?
I mean, I feel like they would win a lot of games with healthy Cam Newton as their quarterback, but I mean, COVID is probably a big reason why Cam. I mean, I would hope so. TJ doesn't like Cam either, so we have a total replacement for a Cam hater on the show.
I don't, but I do have a Cam hot take.
Let's hear it.
All right, let's hear it.
The Jerry Jeudy pick was an indication that the Broncos aren't in on lock, and they're going to be bringing in either Cam or Jameis.
Ooh, that is spicy.
That's very, very spicy. I mean, I don't know why they would do that, but yeah.
I mean, the kind of thinking there is that after the top two in the AFC, like there's no clear third team in the AFC, and they were, I believe they were a 7-win team last year, and they have a decent offensive core now with Judy Sutton, Noah Fant, and then quite a few decent running backs. So they could make the argument that if they bring in a Cam, that they're the number 3 team in the AFC. Right
have you heard of David's Tennessee Titans, bro?
I guess he hasn't.
You mean the team that will be looking up at the Colts in that division this year?
Oh, TJ.
How dare you,
You
bro?
used to be sharp, man. You used to be really sharp. And now you're banking on Phillip Rivers to lead that busted organization to the playoffs over the Titans.
Yeah.
Not my talent. All right.
Here's why I like TJ's theory, because I think John Elway's sitting there. He's looking at the box score measurables on Drew Lock, and the 6'4" just isn't doing it for him. He's sitting there. He's like, Cam Newton is 6'5". I mean, I could get an inch of height at quarterback. I mean, I think you got to bring him in.
So it's like the wide receiver wars from 2014 all over again.
Yeah.
I know Davis would love to see the Jameis in the Mile High.
Dude, Jameis dropped
75-yard bombs.
Just dropping bombs to Cortland Sutton or the nearest defender to Cortland Sutton. Either way.
His ADOT goes up by 10%.
They start doing like the punt airtime tracker for Jameis's throws. It's like waiting for it to come down.
So, okay, how bizarre was Ruggs going that early to the Raiders, right? Like that just it was
Did it
just
surprise you though?
I mean, it's like Raiders gonna Raider. I thought the Broncos were gonna trade up for him though. Like I actually thought it was gonna be even weirder than it was.
And to me, it's weird in that, they had Amari and then they had AB, and it seems like a CeeDee Lamb or a Judy would fill kind of that role that those guys had. And instead they're like, let's roll out 2 burners in Tyrell and Ruggs, and we'll have Renfro control the middle of the field. That's our wide receiver.
Renfro and Waller, dude.
Yeah.
It was actually a little ironic because I was hoping that like a Jets or a 49ers or both would pass on a receiver, and that Ruggs would be the third wide receiver taken and fall to Dallas and end up being the first wide receiver taken. I was just thinking Ruggs being the guy to clear it out for Gallup and Cooper, and then obviously
we got Lamb. We are happy with it.
I'm very happy with the way it fell out, but that was like what I was rooting for from a logical, I forgot the Raiders or the Raiders standpoint.
Devin, I want you to timestamp this, okay? I want you to timestamp this because just going to get on record. Mariota, Josh Jacobs, Tyrell Williams, Darren Waller, and now Henry Ruggs.
Have I missed something with the quarterback depth chart in Oakland, Dave?
Yeah, Derek Carr's going to get traded to the New England Patriots probably after Andy Dalton gets benched.
Calm down with your quarterbacks to the Patriots takes, Davis.
Yeah,
but Mariota is clearly the better quarterback. They just got to give him a better headspace, and he'll be fine.
Actually, all right, I am curious, like, what do you guys think about, like, after yesterday, what we saw with the quarterbacks going? Like, I was kind of hoping Cam ends up with the Chargers if they don't go with the quarterback. Like, where do Cam, Jameis, and Dalton end up now?
One of them goes to Jacksonville, probably.
Yeah, and I'm still on record saying Jameis goes to Pittsburgh behind Big Ben. Doors are clearly shut. Let's talk about one door, though, that could be open in Miami. Peter, you said that you would do a whole show with your finger in your mouth, sucking on your binky Miami Dolphins blanket if they did not draft Tua. And I thought when they didn't trade up, I thought someone might be drafting Tua before Miami, and he fell to number 5. Miami just so sharp. They knew he would fall. That's why they didn't tank at the end of the season, and then they get Tua.
Nah, dude. Mike Lombardi said they were trading up for Wirfs.
Dude, first of all these mock drafters put out their stuff. There's no stakes, no accountability. I'm out here putting my thumb in my mouth on the line for 60-minute show, but I deliver because I see through the BS. Okay, I mean, it's so good. Tua, the Dolphins crushed. They had the best first round of anyone. I'll say it.
I'm not.
They
Not
did,
better
though. That's
than
real.
I like the Vikings, but Dolphins too. Dolphins not drafting a running back in the first round was surprising.
Davis and I were sweating it with Laird.
Hard. Yeah.
Laird was so we broke. He
joshed us, dude. He joshed us so good.
So we go Tua, and he replies, he's like, "Oh, you and my girlfriend broke the news to me. I just got out of the shower." Like the dude wasn't even watching the draft. He's just such a legend.
Is there a line out right now for Dolphins taking a running back with their next pick?
It's got to be pretty high, probably because Swift and Taylor
They're
and
drafting
Dobbins are all
seventh,
still
yeah.
there.
They won't do it. They're too sharp.
Tua and Devontae Parker, and then whoever else.
And Denzel Mims, baby.
Mims. They got Preston Wilson.
Who, Dave?
Preston Williams.
Same thing.
Between this and the WNBA, it's been a rough show, Dave.
It's a rough show. You're having a bad show, Kitchen.
I corrected it before anyone else could. So, anyways, Dolphins offense going to be fun, especially under. Do you think Tua starts half the games of the season?
Half's like the right line.
Ryan Fitzpatrick's like the classic, like, let me get benched, like 4 touchdowns one game, 4 interceptions the next. So, like, I would put the over-under at week 8 for Tua.
Yeah, but you got his health.
Yeah,
too.
they're not going to take any shots.
Right. Yeah, so I'm saying if it looks like he's healthy, I still don't think he would. I think it would be like week 8 or 9.
I will say it. Just from an organizational perspective, people were bashing the Dolphins for running out Ryan Fitzpatrick, blowing it up. And they obviously got lucky that there was the Tua medical concerns for him to be there at 5. But it is crazy that they were able to have their cake and eat it too. They had like that morale building year where the guys were getting W's. They were excited. And then they still get the best quarterback prospect in the draft. That's pretty sick.
Until the hip arthritis set in.
So it seems I don't have any ability concerns on Tua, but it does seem like probably his best outcome is like 8 years or so of having like functional hips. Like it's just like there's not really a long track record of guys coming back from this injury. This is what Reeves told me, is that just everyone who has this injury at some point has a reoccurrence of it.
Chow told me it's fine, dude.
In the Discord.
Oh yeah.
I love how Davis rolls out the best case scenario and then afterwards goes, "Oh, it's what Reeves told me," just so he's clear of any sort of. You think I'm out there?
You think I'm out there breaking down the implications of future hip injuries? I'm not grinding. I'm not grinding that.
The dude's
that info
literally
on my own.
He's got 4 global poker tables up right now. I mean, there's no way.
Only 2, bro. Only 2.
I know you're playing poker right now. I can see it in your eyes.
All right, let's get to the mock draft reckoning where we discuss mock drafts.
How did Sieges go?
Siege is a little distracted as the accountant for the Corona Poker Club that his mock draft kind of took a hit.
Davis, you want to did Siege call you out on your mock draft?
I mean, he did, but to be fair to him,
what do you say?
I don't remember exactly because
I'm pretty sure it was the dumbest mock draft he had ever seen.
So to be fair to Siege, I did not stand by that mock, and I did another one on.
So Siege motivated you to do better.
Mock?
Well, no, I was always going to do another one.
Right.
But
I thought,
Davis, were you like Silva and other ones that were just like, this year's so unpredictable, I've already resigned to the fact that my mock's gonna suck?
No, I thought I would do pretty well.
I like that
you
confidence.
set the line at 8.
Yeah, I set the line at 8, and that's how many I got. So this is the thing that I got wrong. I basically thought it would be impossible for teams to trade because, like, I just didn't trust these boomer GMs at all to be able to figure. Like, I just thought the trading was going to be too much. So I only had one trade in my draft, and it was one that I thought made sense for both teams, and it was the Broncos trading up for Ruggs. That that didn't happen. The Raiders just basically made that an impossibility. But there were I think there were 3 trades in the first round, and I would have taken the under on 1.5. And I obviously took some shots on Xavier McKinney, Jalen Hurts, and a couple of linemen that did not go in the first round. I'd give my mock like C plus relative to, well, no, probably a B relative to average. There were some really, really bad mock drafts this year.
Getting Ruggs first wide receiver, I'll give you props for that.
Yeah, Ruggs first wide receiver, I think was good. I got Lamb and Judy in the wrong order, but I think the one that probably that a lot of people missed was Derek Brown at 7 to the Panthers. A lot of people did Simmons or a lineman there, and I got Brown to Panthers right. Not that like my mock was amazing or anything, but it was better than all these like hyper aggressive trading mocks.
Well, you and Friedman sure were doing victory laps last night.
Well, okay, let me tell you this. If you were one of these people that were touting the Lions Tua thing, you're dumb. It just was never, ever going to happen.
You think there's some smoke screen going on there?
Do you know how much money the Detroit Lions owe Matthew Stafford? Dude, it's like $38 million a year, and they don't have an out until 2022. There was no way it was going to work.
Kind of like the Packers, huh?
Can we talk about my guy Lombardi, man? No tweets.
Yeah, let's go all in. We've got to hold some of these mock drafters accountable because they just roll it out there and the draft happens. You're like, I got it wrong. Whatever. After just leading us astray for months on end. So Peter, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, this truly proves that you can say anything you want. Absolutely anything you want. These two tweets from April 22nd. The Dolphins want to get ahead of the Giants, not for Tua, but for the best tackle, period. That's real, period.
That's real.
That is real. So when I read that, I don't know about you guys, but when someone says that's real, I believe them. In a thought leader like Michael Lombardi. So then I'm like, all right, we're getting
the host of GM Street.
The host of GM Street. I mean, he used to work for the Patriots. I mean, come on. Then he follows it up with, because now they're getting a tackle. They still need a quarterback. Maybe, just maybe the Finns love Jordan Love, ... Good chance. I mean, what is going on with Lombardi over here? Is the Dolphins had to pay him for these tweets, right?
No, you just have, Todorov basically is texting Lombardi what he's hearing. Like it's like literally the
no
equivalent
one gets
of
that reference, Davis.
like literally an intern inside of the Dolphins front office is just like leaking fake stuff is what's happening.
The funniest thing about this whole dynamic is the amount of unrest and unease throughout the Miami Dolphins media leading up to this draft was crazy because they were all so worried they weren't going to take Tua because the GMs are leaking out, the misdirection smoke screen. So they're all like, we can't mess this up. We cannot pass on Tua, even though it was Tua all along, but it was fun. And thank you, Lombardi, for that little detour.
Fins up.
Hashtag fins up. Listen, I don't want to go all in on Siege, but he did come at Davis, and so I feel like I need to just respond in kind with saying, do you guys know who Siege's favorite football team is? College football team?
Notre Dame Fighting Irish?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's his favorite, pro sports team?
The New England Fighting Patriots?
Yeah, so this is kind of what
Tatum.
This is what I have a problem with. Right, yeah, Jason Tatum. This is what I have a problem with is Siege uses his mock draft to basically try to will what he wants to see from a fanboy standpoint. And so when he predicts Cole Kmet to the Patriots because he went to Notre Dame, and people are saying that Cole Kmet in the first round is not going to happen, but I'm hearing that it can. And he's predicting his guy from Notre Dame to his pro team. It's like me wishing, yeah, sure, I wish that a Vanderbilt player would end up on the Titans, but I'm not just rolling it out and being disingenuous with the content by saying that. I'm just hoping it. I'm not predicting that's going to happen.
So you're saying you shouldn't do mock draft selections based on what jerseys you would like to eventually buy?
Yeah. Probably probably some sort of polo, tight end polo Cole Kmet for
tight end polo Cole Kmet. Good word pasta there from David Kitchen.
I want to see now tight end polos, man. Siege had to stuff his Aaron Hernandez tight end polo underneath the bed, and so he needs a new one.
The other one is from WalterFootball.com. and this goes along with the Patriots as well. I just want to read. They predict Adam Troutman, a tight end from Dayton, to the Pats at pick number 23. And here's what the first column says. I would like to emphasize,
need a right tackle.
I would like to emphasize that I do not believe Troutman will be the number 23 pick in the 2020 NFL draft. In fact, I don't even think he'll be chosen in the first round. However, I'm attempting to match player to team, and I believe New England would like Troutman after trading down at the 35-50 range. Patriots don't have a second-round pick, so they're eager to move down unless they can snatch a falling quarterback. Which is fine.
It's like the line of thought when people argue MVP and they're like, well, first we need to establish what the definition of valuable means. It's like, what is the goal of this mock draft? Everyone has a different goal.
The mock draft should kind of replicate what the actual draft is going to be. It's not like the Patriots saying, well, we with pick number 23, we would actually like to select Troutman at pick number 35. So that's not happening. Anyways, TJ, would you like to just get off your chest something that you got wrong?
Well, I value my time, so I don't do mock drafts.
Bang,
but
That's such
mock
a
draft shade. Wow.
But I mean, I was very, very surprised to see the Jets and the 49ers not land a receiver with their first pick.
It was weird, right? It was weird that they were just like, you know what, Lamb, Judy, you guys, we don't need it. Like what? What are you like? What are the 49ers doing, bro?
Yeah, that was probably the biggest surprise for me.
I agree with the 49ers. Not sure about the Jets, but agree with the 49ers.
I like Brandon Ayuk better when he was called Deebo Samuel.
It's a knee slapper.
That deserved a bigger laugh. Like, I'm mad at you guys.
No, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and get off your Debo.
Yeah, I call him the San Francisco 40. No, hang on. Let me do this again. I call him the San Francisco yards after the catchers.
I mean, it's just like how many of the exact same guy can Kyle Shanahan draft? It's like dude who like looks like a running back but plays wide receiver and is 5'11".
Does Debo have 81-inch wingspan for a 5'11" guy?
I thought that was a pretty great part of the broadcast. The wingspan analysis is always good.
I don't know about you guys, but I call them the San Francisco redundant assets.
All right, stop. We got to move on. Let's talk about how no one except for Clay Travis predicted the Packers getting Jordan Love. Did you predict that, TJ?
I'm surprised.
He was due for a right take. He was due.
I just wanted to say that so it would tilt Davis to no end.
I would have loved to have a draft set up for the Aaron Rodgers reaction from that. Like, that's like the biggest smack in the face. Like if they even have a window to win, it's now. And to not do anything to help Aaron Rodgers in the last couple of years of his career is probably the most. I mean, I don't know if I've seen anything that egregious in the draft. And
this was the heel turn. Oh man, it was like no one saw it coming. I mean, I still cannot believe what they did. It was like Game of Thrones-esque. You know, it was like plot twist. Here's what's going to happen. And there are so many reasons why it is such a beautiful pick, from the whole Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers being on record yesterday saying he was going to reach out to whoever they were going to draft. And having someone drafted in the first round that could help him on like the past 15 years. So many things.
If he had any friends go ahead, TJ.
I'll say all my Allen Lazard shares did go through the roof yesterday. I'm very excited about that.
Does this mean MVS is still technically alive?
I'd say no. He's behind. You gotta remember that Funch is there now.
Yeah, tough scene.
It's twisting the knife on Aaron Rodgers from like 4 different possible directions. You know, it's like if they draft Jordan Love in the 4th round or whatever, then it's like whatever. But at the most loaded wide receiver draft class, when he's desperate for weapons, it's just so good. What wasn't his one quote like before he had told some radio show or whatever? He's like, yeah, I'm just really excited. We haven't drafted offense early in years. I'm super excited for us to get a weapon.
Yeah, it would be nice. And no matter what, I'm going to reach out to whoever it is.
How many play calls is he going to ignore this season because of this draft?
All of them. All of them. It's just he's just going out there and he's flinging the ball. He's gonna hit the sideline with just an outrageous ferocity. If he had any friends or family, they'd be really worried about him.
Davis, what was the Packers' record last year?
They were 13-3, right?
Yes, 13 wins. And instead of drafting a weapon for Aaron Rodgers, you go and draft his successor that's not even going to start for another 2 years. Like, you're just blowing it up. It's just like, oh, man.
Do we think that Jordan Love, which is that high up on their board, how much of it is this self-mythology of this is how it played out with Rodgers usurping Favre, and we want to run this back because this is the Green Bay formula? Like, it just seems like they have this fairy tale script in their head that they're trying to replay.
How do they not know that, like, winning with a quarterback on the rookie deal means you want that quarterback to be playing right away. You're on the rookie deal.
It's so bad. I mean, is there any chance, TJ, that they trade Rodgers or get out from
That's what I thought too. Like, surely they're going to draft him. And someone was like, one of the beat writers said, make no mistake, they are drafting him to be the successor.
I mean, but if you're going to do that, you would assume that it's like at least you want to get 3 years out of him, right? So you're assuming there's some kind of trade scenario next season? Where does that come from?
This is like the meme where it's like
Aaron Rodgers to the Patriots.
Well, I was going to tie it into the Patriots.
I didn't want to say it.
Because think about it. The Packers in their head are like, this will play out just like it did with Favre and Rodgers. But in reality, it's going to play out like Jimmy Garoppolo, right? They draft this guy to be the successor. The incumbent doesn't want to leave. And
doesn't want to go
on the dollar for him.
I mean, it is amazing how it played out. Pete, you mentioned it, like one of the deepest draft classes we have ever had. And instead of getting him a reasonable weapon, he sees Tom Brady go to Tampa Bay just surrounded by weapons. And he's got one guy.
They should draft Hurts in the second and just be like, yeah, we're just trying to, load up, really solidify.
Just go the Washington route. One of these guys will work out. Davis, you've been throwing massive shade at Aaron Rodgers. So I want, I didn't see anyone that agreed with this move except for you just dancing on graves. So
it was so funny. It's just because I just am imagining Rodgers watching at his house, and that GIF that everyone uses of him throwing the Surface Pro, right? Like, I'm just imagining that, but it's actually just him alone in his living room, just he's like, okay, we're trading up. Chase Claypool, Denzel Mims, T. Higgins, and then they say it's Jordan Love, and he shuts it off, and he leaves the living room, and he just, I don't know. He probably eats healthy, so he goes to the freezer and gets some Halo Top ice cream, and it's just I'm gonna text Ted so angry in the morning, just tilting his face off.
Has anyone done this joke yet? Which Jordan does Rodgers hate more, Jordan Rodgers or Jordan Love?
Yeah, a couple. No, there was. It was like love a Jordan is the only thing that Rodgers can't do, or something like that.
Okay, right. Just making sure people didn't miss the boat on that.
The one thing I saw was the Packers get the one thing that he can't even give to his own brother. Love. So, yeah.
Good show, guys. We're having a good show. We're having a good show.
Hey, and by the way, TJ, I'm sorry that Davis talks over you every chance he gets. That's just kind of the format of the show.
Davis and I go way back. We have a rapport unlike any other.
You have to kind of fight. You gotta have to fight for your air time around here. So I apologize for that. All right. Other stuff that happened. Let's just talk about the Dallas and CeeDee Lamb thing because people were going nuts. Davis, this is a siege take for you because your favorite college team is
Yeah, I mean, when your favorite
Oklahoma?
yeah,
Follow it up here.
Well, I was just saying, when your favorite pro team takes your favorite player from your favorite college team, it's just I have to say, it's an experience that that makes rooting for laundry all worth it, really, at the end of the day, because those 5 minutes you're very happy. You're just sitting there in the cold glare of your laptop screen, and you're soaking in all of the serotonin. It's really great.
What's it like to have so many teams you're emotionally invested in, Davis?
Well, what's great is the losses are not as good, but you get to stake your claim on more victories. Like if the Dolphins ever win a Super Bowl, dude, we're in.
Were you hopping on a Zoom call with your Cowboys buddies too last night? Were you working that in?
My Cowboys buddy is just my dad.
TJ, do you remember? Go ahead.
Will Patrick Mahomes come within 50 fantasy points of Dak Prescott this year?
I don't know. All I know is that Dak QB3 was trending last night on Twitter. Everyone just wanted to state that Dak stock is up.
Is there
rocket emoji, stock market little graph emojis?
Is there a better 3 wide receiver set in the NFL?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs could be close if you're just thinking of like what they do with their quarterback.
Are you about to say something that ends with? Oh, okay, I was like, if you go down the AJ Brown, I'm like, you're going to end up at Adam Humphries.
AJ Brown, Adam Humphries.
Tampa, yeah, Tampa's. But
who's Tampa's third? Justin Watson,
Bobo Wilson,
OJ Howard. They're gonna convert him. Wait, is Rashad Perryman?
Perryman's on the Jets now.
He's on the Jets, bro.
Tough show for Dave.
Kitchen's having a rough go.
That chopping block idea is not looking good for Kitchen.
The relegation battle. Tuttle's back.
Tuttle has to be on for the third round or the third day show where he can just tout some obscure players that
Antonio Gibson from Liberty, dude, crushed.
AGG, oh yeah. Let's see, we have other situations as far as the Dallas. The one thing another kind of buzz term is Amari in the slot for all of his snaps. People think that is going to be just a huge thing. TJ, I want to get your take on this.
I mean, it makes sense from just from how an alignment standpoint. I think it'll probably help secure his target share a little bit. I think the more interesting play here is probably Gallup if we're talking from a redraft perspective. I think his price probably plummets a little bit, but I tweeted out last night, I like to over on 20% target share for Gallup, and I would say easily for Amari as well.
Is that actually a betting market, TJ?
No, but I mean...
No, he sets his own line.
I set my own line. But there's almost 170 targets opened up without Witten and Cobb there. We know rookie wide receivers are rarely going to make a huge impact on target share, even if he is a real good life football player, especially with the abbreviated offseason, and we don't know what Blake Jarwin is. So I think Amari and Gallup could still have really nice fantasy years.
Really? Because I call him the Dallas too many mouths to feed.
That was actually he was playing it off, but that was actually a self-satisfied lean back. He was like, yeah, nailed it.
He just kept on waiting for TJ.
He was holding his breath until I stopped talking.
Guys, someone please acknowledge this with any sound whatsoever.
All right, Brandon Ayuk to the Niners. Davis, you say he's not going to be good, but obviously,
no, I never said that. I just said
who did you comp him to?
Debo Samuel.
Who
is good?
Let's not walk it back, Davis.
There's nothing to walk back. It's just it's important for the 49ers to stay as on brand as possible at all times. And Brandon Ayuk is definitely what a head coach who vapes would do with this first round pick.
And what's that supposed to mean?
He's an overaged wide receiver. These guys who are not early declares at wide receiver, and then they go in the first round. It's just like a who's who of mega bust. The predictive history there is not great. TJ will have my back here.
Better than Dante Pettis?
Oh God. I mean, Chris Raybon did have one of the better tweets last night when he mentioned with Ayuk that you're not going to have to worry about Jimmy G throwing game-losing overthrows in the Super Bowl.
Just going to snatch those like CeeDee Lamb snatches his burner phone. Just right out of thin air.
I mean, obviously, I'm excited about Ayuk. Any wide receiver that was going to San Francisco, we were going to get excited about.
Yeah, maybe if they trade for Winston. Jimmy Garoppolo can't support 3.5 fantasy relevant guys.
I don't even know if he can support 2.
Yeah. That's why I have a hard time getting excited, Dave. I'm just leveling with you, man.
It's Shanahan. It's not Jimmy G.
No, it's not. Shanahan has let dudes
throwing the ball.
Yeah, Shanahan has had dudes put up monster receiving seasons.
It's a very, very unexciting draft pick. I mean, there's going to be a lot of routes under 10 yards in this offense.
That's why I call him the San Francisco Dink and Dunkers.
Do we remember when David Kitchen gave Dante Pettis the Shanahan wide receiver 1 monk-ear for like predicting future fantasy success? Do we remember that conversation, or am I only holding on to that because Kitchen was trying to nag me at the time?
I
never let anything go.
Yeah,
I literally just never let anything go. Like I was tweeting at someone from 18 months ago who bet me $1,000 I would finish last place in a fantasy league. Like I am incapable of ever letting anything go. I hold on to grudges forever,
which is amazing as the guy who is known for shaming Odell and now the long-term value on deep balls of Kelsey, Watkins, and Hill as not being upgraded from Alex Smith to Patrick.
This is why the Odell thing is why I hold on to these grudges so bad.
Oh, it's like a Twitter Napoleon complex.
Yeah, it's like if you guys are gonna nag me, I'm nagging you right back. You feel me?
TJ, do you operate on that same kind of?
No, he's a mentally balanced person.
TJ, yeah. Big eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth guy.
Biblical. He's got his biblical principles.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm even-headed, like David said. I already mentioned that I don't do mock drafts, so that tells you everything you need to know about me.
All right. Anyone you were excited about, TJ?
Just in general in the first round?
Yes.
I actually like this, like maybe like an underrated landing spot and like who benefits from it. Justin Herbert to the Chargers. If anybody is from this standpoint, if anybody is on the Austin Eckler train or wants to be, I actually thought that Tyrod hurt his reception upside a little bit just because mobile quarterbacks tend to actually hurt the pass catching running backs, and Herbert is a little mobile, but I mean nowhere near what Tyrod is. Tyrod's a guy that's like, if he played the whole season, was going to pull it down potentially 100 times, where Herbert definitely won't do that. So if you're somebody that wants to buy Eckler, then I think it helps him quite a bit.
TJ, best ball draft right now. Who do you take first, Hilaire or Eckler?
Wow, Hilaire.
All right. Wow.
I mean, I think that by FFPC season, Hilaire is going to be going like 108, Peter.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with like Eckler there, like I do actually like Eckler, but I think he's going to be overdrafted. He's not going to be a 300 touch guy.
But Hilaire isn't either.
No, but Hilaire's in the best offense in the league.
I guess I'll take
Dub, Peter.
Rough show for me. Forgot the Chiefs were good.
Dynamic offense. Or a touchdown guy. All right.
Okay, wait, hold on. I have a question for Peter that's very literally will only matter to like 6 people. So Peter, we just did this quarantine snake draft where the rookie picks were in the draft. You have the first pick in the rookie draft. You thought it was going to be Jonathan Taylor. Who are you taking now?
I'm taking trading down.
Patriots.
I'll trade with you. I will trade with you.
I legitimately I want to trade down out of the 101, but I just have a feeling that most people are going to feel like who's going to trade up for? Are people going to be that excited for Hilaire that they'd be willing to trade up for the 101?
I just told you I will.
All right, but you got to make it worth my while.
Michael Leone posted a screenshot of Davis telling his certain league, I will be selecting CH with a 1.01. If that interests you, send me offers. Poor guy goes from just my Chiefs would never do something like this to now.
I mean, I'm legitimately considering just like quitting some of these leagues that I'm in, just because it's like, you guys want to put me in the biggest coffin ever. 4 days ago, I just traded a 2021 first round draft pick to Scott Barrett for Damian Williams and Darwin Thompson.
The drumbeat.
I have never ever been so dusted in my whole life.
Wait, actually, no, there was a bigger dusting, right? You were in that dynasty startup where you traded for all those picks, and then didn't Amico flip them for less?
Oh yeah,
like,
and he made like $3 on the trade. Yeah, pretty big dusting.
Pretty big. What do you got, TJ?
Back to Kitchen's question. I think it was for the rookies in the first round, at least like the fantasy relevant players, is actually kind of a boring first round for the rookies specifically in 2020. But is there a running back landing spot in the second round of the guy, like the top guys remaining, that would make any of them jump Edwards-Helaire in redraft ADP this year?
No.
Yeah, no, I think if Jonathan Taylor goes at 49 to the Steelers and they're like, James Conner, thank you for your service, you are no longer needed here, I think that one could get close. Or J.K. Dobbins to Tampa Bay, and Brady tweets
Dobbins to Tampa Bay is the one I was thinking.
he tweets some meme. Classic.
It would
Brady
have to be someone to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that
offense now, man. Them getting worse where they did was they've got it. I mean, they have got it. They're the favorites now.
Do they have a wider range of outcomes? Do they have a wider range of outcomes than people are giving them credit for, though?
Yeah, everyone's Brady, like, dude, 43-year-old Tampa Tom.
Brady's legit washed, right?
Yes.
It's amazing. It's amazing this roller coaster when Brady was going to Tampa Bay. Everyone's like, "Oh, there's no way that they can support." Noodle arm Brady with those two wide receivers, and then all of a sudden they get Gronk and get some offensive tackle help, and now it's just like those pieces alone, and they're like, "Well, look out, Brady's going to be back at it again." It's a constant roller coaster.
I'm going to be way cooler on that offense than the consensus.
Is anyone worried about Brady? I mean, this guy wandered into a random person's house. I'm wondering if he's all there right now. I mean, this guy's trespassing. At his age, he could have early onset Alzheimer's. I'm just saying.
Hey,
be careful.
Pete.
Is that too
Pete,
far?
That was no. That was well. I don't know. It depends. But El Presidente tweeted out the same thing yesterday. So
really, wow.
Yeah. You and Portnoy. You and Portnoy. On the same wavelength.
Yeah. One quarterback with Alzheimer's. Everyone knows the rules.
All right. Any other hot take? Oh, we didn't talk about Rager.
The Grim Rager. What do we think about that as a nickname? No. All right. I tried it. It's fine.
So normally, this is how you do it. You go, you know what I call him, guys? I call him the Grim Rager.
I don't have a pen. I don't have a pen, Peter.
Into it. You got to have a pen. It's like Matt Patricia. He doesn't leave home without it.
I think you just need a more rigorous vetting process, before you come up with it.
Yeah.
Give it, TJ. Give us the projection.
You're 20% market share.
Absolutely not. He's kind of more of a. He's a guy that they're going to have to make plays for, which I don't think ever really bodes well for a wide receiver. Kind of a Percy Harvin-esque. I mean, there's a legit chance that any wide receiver is fourth on targets on this team anyway, behind both tight ends and Miles Sanders. And like I already said, I'm usually pretty cool on rookie wide receivers and redraft. I mean, Deshaun's still going to be there. Alshon, he is what he is. So I'm not super stoked on the landing spot for Rager.
Do you think they cut Fat Sean?
That's a very, very real possibility.
He's like 36 now.
Yeah.
What about
I'm including him in my projections for now, but I might scale him way down.
It's just pretty disingenuous to not mention JJ Arcega-Whiteside in this conversation.
I think the ship has sailed for Arcega.
Year 2 breakout, bro.
Yeah, he could go full DJ Shark. That'd be fun.
Rager, another guy though that you have to be excited about just because he's in the system. He's in the system, and they don't have anybody else.
What is in the system, man? In this context, I'm flummoxed.
Okay, all right. In a system where they didn't have any sort of wide receivers, and you have a somewhat innovative head coach who is sharp and can utilize guys in space.
Are you saying Jalen Rager is a system wide receiver?
No, I think that his skill set is going to be optimally used. We'll say that. I was surprised he went before Justin Jefferson. I was surprised at how far Jefferson fell.
Speaking of optimally used, can we talk about Cliff Kingsbury's living room setup? I mean, talk about some feng shui.
Yeah, let's talk about the at-home setups.
Oh, someone a little upset I stepped on their segue.
To be honest, I just forgot. I had it written down, but
rough show for Dave. He's gonna get relegated. Davis, pay attention. We're piling on Dave right now.
He's all in, bro.
I'm letting. I had tens there.
Oh my god!
He also tweeted like 3 times earlier. I see it popping up. He's searching for gifts. I mean, he's a disaster. Lower his rate, Dave. Lower his rate.
Here's the thing: if I'm actively only paying attention to the screen, I'm going to interrupt TJ like 600 times.
That's okay.
All right, but Davis, what do you think about that? What we just said?
Justin Jefferson going a little bit late.
That was 5 minutes ago. Oh gosh, grow
Remember
up.
when we check in after the show, we all say to each other, do we feel good about this show?
Yeah.
Think about this moment right now, guys.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great.
Take homes from the draft at home setups that you saw. Peter, what was the one takeaway that you had?
Well, obviously the one everyone wants to talk about is the Vrabel home setup, that's like you're in a Waldo book and you're trying to find like all the fun little Easter eggs. There is so much going on in this photo. I also love Vrabel has already gone on record and debunked that this kid wasn't pooping. He was just sitting on a stool.
Sitting. Kids wear short shorts these days, like the little chubbies. So it's like,
yeah. Here's what I don't understand. Vrabel has 2 kids, ostensibly 2 of the people in this photo. There's 2 other teenagers in the house dicking around. It's NFL draft and Vrabel's just like, let's have all the teenagers over to the house. Like, how does this happen?
My favorite was the guy in the Frozone suit who has to be related to Sammy Reed. If you look at that guy, he is Sammy Reed 35 years ago. I mean, it was basically spitting image. Sammy's got another kid out there, and that's this kid. The one that whenever they showed Jerry Jones, I was like, is he on a boat?
Oh, he was on his coke yacht.
He was on a spaceship.
Yeah,
I know. And then it came out that like someone actually went and looked up like pictures from the yacht. He was on his yacht, the ultimate flex. How do you beat that? To me, that was more impressive.
He saw Kingsbury's picture and he just like, I need to step my game up.
Way more impressive than the Kingsbury pick because, I mean, a nice house out in Arizona.
Kingsbury's a beautiful, beautiful man, and that definitely plays into that mythos there.
The thing about Jerry's photo is just like way more effortless. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm in my yacht. Like Cliff spent a lot of time composing that photo.
Yeah. Also, Just by the way, again, we need to go again. Belichick just try-harding so hard with like the 1997 Dell laptops at his house in Nantucket. That guy makes me sick. Just makes me sick.
They bought that Nantucket house. It was probably like built in the 50s and just didn't renovate anything. They're like, no, we just like the character that it has. And he had laptops up, like 4 little laptops, just didn't even try.
What are the chances Gruden was playing 4th level chess and had a fake big board behind him?
Big board? Knowing Gruden very low.
Yeah. Some of the chess moves, Vrabel also kind of leaning into the whole jock thing. TJ, you're kind of cultured. Have you seen Parasite?
What's that based off of?
No, that's not.
You sipping alcohol last
Yeah.
night.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Parasite?
Because you've tweeted about whiskey before.
Yeah.
Have I?
Have you seen the movie Parasite?
I have not.
I take it back. I know Peter has. That house reminded me of the cliff.
Yeah. Didn't know you were such a big Korean film head, Dave.
It's got
I was blown
subtitles.
away by how many prospects had pool tables in their homes. Like, who are all these people that own pool tables and have room for it?
Yeah.
Oh man, one of the best tweets I saw was Miss Burrow thinking that she's going to be in Vegas for this celebrating her, and instead she's at home getting ethered about her curtains. Like, I mean, it was
and some sweet
obscene.
slip covers.
Dave, you're the only one out of us that I know has kids.
TJ's got a couple.
Yeah, I mean, that he doesn't know about. But if you were the GM and they were coming filming you, would you have gotten your kids some airtime, or would it have been like daddy's drafting, the door shut?
Oh, I would have given him airtime.
Yeah.
No, door shut, dude. Door shut. Amateur, it's
life.
freaking amateur hour out
Hey,
here.
Davis.
Hey, Davis, wait, you were tilted by the
girl
kids?
dad.
Davis, did you get legit tilted seeing the kids on screen? Get them out of here.
No, it's just like I'm thinking of myself in that situation of like I'm trying to be on TV and freaking select CeeDee Lamb or Jalen Reagor. Like I can't have my kid watching Little Fires Everywhere on the iPad next
You're
to
playing
me,
poker, tweeting, and slacking during this show. I think you can multitask a kid come into the room for a second.
I actually have a picture of the first time Davis met my oldest daughter when she was like 1 or 2.
It is a
and
pretty
she's
good
like
one.
she's like wanting to talk to Davis, and Davis is just on his couch on his phone, leaned away, like she has some sort of disease. That's all you need to know about Davis's.
Kids are vicious carriers of diseases, David.
Kid takes. All right. Closing thoughts. We're not even gonna do best fits. We've already talked about best fits. Closing thoughts.
TJ,
Davis. TJ can think about it while Davis goes. Closing thoughts, Davis. What do you have to say about the first round of the draft?
31 great picks. 31 great picks. And then just, I mean, I was real life upset. I didn't go to sleep until like 2:30 because I was just steaming. And so this is not even a joke. I was upset.
You're in a kind of a lose-lose situation because like if CEH does well, like you've got to cheer for him almost to like do bad to justify that he was a bad pick.
No, absolutely not. He's going to crush. There's none of that coming from me. He's going to be awesome.
If he crushes, then, a lot of your credibility goes downhill.
No, if he crushes, then the same knuckle draggers who are not able to understand why Saquon smashes, and like it's just the same people outing themselves as imbeciles.
Slippery slope. All right, Peter, closing thoughts.
I'm just glad I didn't have to do the entire show like this. I think I saved us all. Hashtag fins up. Tua Laird 2020. Let's go.
DJ, can you top that? Closing thoughts, my friend.
Dak QB1 in fantasy in 2020.
Get that trending. Forget
this
QB3.
isn't a clickbait show, TJ. You don't.
That's not clickbait.
You don't need. You won't believe who TJ has guessed as his number 1 quarterback.
Hey TJ, we don't.
That is a legit take.
TJ, we don't lower ourselves to gimmicks on this show. Okay, we give the truth.
We don't at all. All right. My closing thought is want to thank TJ for being on the show. 4for4.com. You can follow him on Twitter at TJ Hernandez. And also, having just sports back for the first time since the WNBA draft last night was so like being in a chat with my friends. Like I was in a WhatsApp chat, kind of like Davis was in a Zoom chat, but like having a Packers fan in our chat where we just were dunking on him so hard. He like left the chat, like just all the stuff that sports brings us was great to have last night. And I can't wait till we get back to more of that normal where we can just continue to dunk on each other and really bond through that. So anyways, that was my closing thoughts. Thanks to all the guys on the show. We'll see you next week for the next edition of the Swolecast here on RotoGrinders.com.